Tatted Tatter Crochet and Tatting Podcast. My name is Stephanie and I'm coming to you from Southern California, where I talk about, on this podcast, all kinds of yarny goodness, crochet, knitting, technically tatting sometimes, cross stitch, all the other kinds of fun stuff. So this is episode 16, which is insane. And today I have very few things to show you in ways of finished objects and works in progress, and of course no stashay away because I'm on a yarn ban until November 2nd or 3rd or whatever it is when I'm going to Stitches SoCal, which will be in Pasadena. And since the San Diego yarn crawl was last weekend, no more yarn for me for a while. But I have a very exciting announcement, and so you'll have to watch the whole video to see it because I'm not going to do that till the end. So we get all the other stuff out of the way first, and then we'll get to announcements about my first pattern release and various fun things going along with that. So first things first, finished objects. I finished 2 things this week. One of them I have to show you and one I don't. So I told you last week that I was going to be making a hat for my friend. My friend Blair had her birthday on Saturday, and so yesterday. So I made her a hat, and then I made one for myself. So I'll put up pictures of hers. Her party was at this bar slash skee ball place, and so they're a little dark, but you get the point. And this is the exact same hat, just in slightly different yarn. So this is the hat. This is the Pop Star beanie from a book on celebrity slouchy beanies from Leisure Arts that I bought at Michael's when I first started learning how to crochet. And I've made the hat a couple times before. This is the first one that I've made in like nice wool yarn for myself. And it is slouchy, as you can see. You work it from the center out, and then you make the band and then whip stitch it together. And I really like this hat. This yarn is Cloudborne Highland worsted in Iron Heather, and then the band, the dog heard a noise, is, what's the neighbor, is Cascade, and this is their merino silk. It's 80% merino, 20% silk blend, and the color is cranberry. So yeah, it's really easy to work up as long as you pay attention to the stitch counts at the beginning. I had to pull out, I made Blair's first, and so I had to pull it out a couple times. And then hers, the band is the same, and the body is also made out of the merino silk blend, just in a different color. So this is it, and I love it. It's very cute. It's nice and slouchy. So it's like a great cooler weather hat, but not too warm. And then I did the band because the Highland worsted is pretty itchy, but the silk obviously is not as bad, so it feels better against the skin. And I love the color contrast between the two. So this is my cute new hat, and I can't wait to wear it. It's also one of those I don't want to do my hair today hats in the fall. You can get away with that. So yeah, so I made 2 of these, and it's too hot to wear this right now. But I love it, and I really, I've made this hat now like 6 times, I think. 3 times with wool, and then the 3 times with some acrylic blends. And it's worsted weight, so like I said, it works up pretty quick. You can make it as slouchy or as not slouchy as you want. It has small, medium, and large patterns, sizes. So I will put, say hi, Peanut. Peanut. I'll put the link to my Ravelry project page down in the information box so that you can look at it and see if you can find the pattern to make it if you would like, because it's a perfect like gift thing. It only takes a couple hours to make, all that kind of fun stuff. So slouchy hat. And then that's it for finished objects. So works in progress. am so close to finishing my Faded Unicorns cowl. It's Republica Unicornia bag. I've been working furiously on this and I'm so close to being done. I finished the fifth color because it's originally 4 colors plus the ribbing, and so I added an extra color. This is the tallest cowl I have ever seen in my life, but it's mostly to help me practice my knitting. So yeah, so I just started the ribbing, so you can see the purple working in there, and there's less of the ribbing because of the amount of yarn that I had. I also added rows to the individual colors from what's in the pattern because I wanted to have less, I didn't want to have a lot of yarn left. I want to try to use up a whole mini set plus the ribbing. So yeah, tallest cowl I've ever seen. When I blog it, I'm going to try to stretch it out a little bit so that it doesn't look so disproportionate. But then when you put it on, it's not going to matter anyway, right? Because it's going to all crowd up, so it'll just be a little warm. So yeah, and as a reminder, the pattern is the Fast Fade Cowl from Molly Klein Design, and the yarn, the fade colors, are from Long Dog Yarn. This is her Unicorn Fade Base, which was a special for the LA Yarn Crawl this year. And then the ribbing is from Moon Tower Dye Works. And they're all sock bases from the various dyers. And yeah, so that's almost done. I probably won't be able to finish it today because I'm going to a movie this evening. But tomorrow, I hope. Because I haven't done a lot of purling, it takes me 3 years to do the ribbing because I have to go so slowly to do the knit and then purl and then knit and purl and all that. So, but it will get done, and I'm really excited about the colors. I think it's really cute. So, and I feel very comfortable with the fingering weight yarn now in the knitting. I started a little tight, and so now I've kind of gotten into a good rhythm. And before I got to the ribbing, I was working the rounds really fast. At least compared to how I was in the beginning. So I feel like it's going well. I'm excited to do the next thing I talked about is the Loft Shawl from Faye Dasper Hughes. She has a DK knitted version, and I showed you the Lemonade Shop yarn that I'm gonna do for that. So that's super exciting. I did purchase a pattern this week. Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet released her Falling Ivy shawl yesterday. So I just printed out the front page, the first page, so you can see it. I have to find yarn that I want to use for it, but it is a 2-color DK weight, sorry Hannah, you're blowing out, shawl, and it is a half circle so that when you put it on, it sits. You don't have to pin it or anything. And I'm very excited because I helped name it when we were in Vegas. And so of course I'm gonna make one. You can get it on Ravelry, so the Falling Ivy shawl, Hannah Siegman, I think is how she pronounces it. And there's also a kit for the yarn, so if you like the orange and the dark green, you can buy the kit from the dyer that she made the yarn from. So if you go on her YouTube or her Instagram or any of those things for Cozy Cottage Crochet, you can find all of that and get the yarn and the shawl pattern. So I was thinking about getting a kit, and I was like, yarn band. And I don't know, orange just isn't really a bright orange isn't really my color. I'm more of like a rusty orange kind of person. So I will find some stash because I have a ton of DK. And some that my mother-in-law gave me that I think would work, some hedgehog fibers. So I'm gonna look at that and see, because I think it would also be pretty in like a speckly yarn as well as solids, but I also have solids, so we'll see. Because there's also a cal going on, the Stashmas cal 2018, and it's a K cal. It's crochet and knitting and all that, but it's done by someone who knits, so it's. But if you look up Stashmas cal, so STASHMASKAL 2018 on Instagram, you can find it. I think they have a Ravelry page for it too. But so everything that I make that is from Stash, I'm gonna enter, because why not? I might as well, especially because I'll be mostly working from stash because I'm not buying any more yarn for a while. I think it was, you had to have bought the yarn before September 1st or something like that when it started, so I have plenty of that. Yeah, so that's everything that I have been working on, that I've purchased, and so we have come to the moment that we have all been waiting for. The Killmonger cowl. So this is also just the first page of my first design. So the Killmonger cowl I've shown you on the podcast, and it's been tested, and I'm sending it out to a tech editor this week, and so it will be ready for release. And I thought it would be fun for us to do something to go along with the pattern release. So the pattern, I'm planning on releasing it on October 1st, and so I thought, why not do our own cowl? So I'm calling it the Killmonger cowl. Get it? Killmonger cowl, Killmonger cowl. I love alliteration. And so it's gonna start October 1st. We'll go through November 16th, because it's a Friday. And you can make whatever you want that has anything to do with Avengers. So really anything Marvel, if it's a color, it's a pattern. You know, you went to the Thor movie once and the scarf that you're making looks like the theater seats. I don't care. As long as you can figure out how it relates to Avengers somehow, don't care. Hey, cats! Quit your fighting! I have a bug bite and the cats are fighting. Life. Anyway, so, cats! Meatball. Peanut, will you go stop them? Why aren't you stopping the cats from fighting? She's too smart to get involved in that. Hey, don't step on the merch. Jeez, you're wrinkling it. October 1st to November 16th, I created a Ravelry group. It's called the Tatter Podcast. There's a chatter thread and a finished objects thread. So obviously you can't put anything in the finished objects until after it starts on October 1st. But go ahead and chatter away if you have any questions, if you have ideas, yarn and patterns and all that kind of stuff. I'll put a bundle together as people start putting patterns in that they're using. The only requirement is that it be yarny related. So crochet, knitting, weaving, whatever. Any of those things, anything yarny related, you can enter. And then things you've already started are fine, as long as it's like less than half done, just to make sure that everybody kind of gets an equal opportunity, because there will be prizes, and I will be announcing the prizes as soon as I know what they are. But they will of course be yarn related, and then lots of fun goodies. If you would like to contribute to the prizes, let me know. You can email me at thetattedtatterca@gmail.com. Of course, the Killmonger cowl will be a part of this, so once it's released, I'll certainly put it in the bundle. And then if you make a Killmonger cowl or scarf or some variation on the pattern, you can do 2 finished objects in the finished object thread. So your one project counts for 2 entries. And so when you do that, post your post twice, because Ravelry, when you do a post, it puts a number at the top right hand corner, and so that's how we'll figure out the giveaway, who's gonna win. And there will be 1 winner for the chatter thread, 1 winner for the finished object thread that will be chosen, random number generator. And then if you're on Instagram, use the hashtag KillmongerCowl, C-A-L. I'll put it so you can spell it. And I'll have a special something for somebody on Instagram who uses the Killmonger cowl hashtag. That's finished objects, works in progress, whatever. As long as it's a picture of whatever you're working on or have finished. So yeah, I'm so excited. We're gonna do my first cowl with my first pattern, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So again, go over to the Ravelry page, get into the chatter thread, post your stuff in finished objects starting October 1st. We'll go through November 16th, so as long as it is on there by the end of November 16th will be good. And then so that weekend, that Sunday, I will draw the winners during the podcast, and I'll post them that day, and of course I'll contact you. And over the next couple of weeks, I'll let you know what the prizes are going to be, and it should be fun. I'm super excited. Yeah, if you want to contribute, shoot me an email, and I will put a bunch of stuff on Instagram as we go, and update you on the podcast every week and all that kind of fun stuff. So, yay, I'm so excited. Patterns and cows. And so, of course, next Sunday will be the podcast before it starts, because October 1st is a Monday. So we'll go over all of this again next week and get everything officially started. And it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. You can find me online on Ravelry as Tatted Tatter. And so now we have the Tatted Tatter podcast group that you can join. And you can also find me on Instagram as The Tatted Tatter. And I hope to see you there. And I will see you next Sunday. Bye.